Hello and welcome to SJC News with Nahim Rahman. Today we have the director of the new and upcoming movie called Bobby. Bobby is about the kidnapping of a young man who has to be saved by his girlfriend. Here we have the director, Aimee Watson. As a crime film, how did you conform or challenge conventions of the genre in terms of location?
Well, we originally chose to film where the guy was kidnapped in a drama studio because it was dark and quiet, and this conformed to the conventions of our genre. But we then chose to instead film it in the boiler room because the drama studio seemed very unrealistic, whereas the boiler room provided like pipes and things like that that we could tie our victim up to, which was, like I say, seemed a lot more realistic and conformed better to the conventions of our genre. We also originally had Bobby, the main female character, live in a house, but then we realised that this was like too friendly for a crime film, so we decided to have her instead live in the workplace, which meant that we filmed over Canary Wharf because that is a work environment. And this conformed to conventions because the work environment highlights wealth and it displayed her as a strong character.
So how did you use sound to establish the genre?
And we noticed through research that the crime films often have a fast pace to them, so we decided to have our music have a fast pace and tempo, because this will then conform to the genre of crime. We also added in heartbeats because this helped build up tension, and the frantic voicemail.
Okay, so I still haven't heard from you. Getting a bit worried now. Please call me.
From the girlfriend also again reinforced panic and a rushed pace.
It was quite interesting to see how you cast a woman as a saviour and the man as a victim. Why did you choose to do this?
Well, actually, originally that wasn't our choice. We was going to have the male character as the saviour and the woman as the victim because they're common portrayals and it conforms to the conventions of our genre. However, we decided that instead we would subvert against it, and we would have our female character play the domineering role and being the hero. We done this in terms of to make it a bit different and also to attract a slightly different target audience because we noticed from research that our target audience were mostly males. So we thought that by having a strong female character that's seen as independent, that it would attract a larger female audience. As well as this, in modern times we don't think it's fair for the women to always be like portrayed as the victims and as being weak. So we wanted to reflect on this by having our female role a strong person. So we done this through mise en scene. So her costume, for starters, she was smartly dressed, but it was also very practical. Originally she was wearing heels, but then it was kind of inconvenient for the pace of her walking, so we had her in shoes but still demonstrated this, that she had heels by her putting them into her bag. Also, she was wearing red lipstick, so this is like quite a fierce and bold colour, and by having her in the setting of the workplace, it showed her as being independent and quite a strong person as well. Equally, we portrayed the male character as a victim, as he's the character that is being rescued, and we done this through the high angle shot used when he's tied up, and also by him being tied up, it demonstrates how weak he is as he's been kidnapped. In terms of casting as well, we also chose to cast males as the kidnappers, as we still wanted to have that. We still wanted to conform to the conventions of having strong males, just not stereotypically through them being the lead role.
And how did these choices affect the portrayal of, social groups?
Well, by casting black males as our kidnappers, we portrayed black males in a negative light, as this conforms to how they are often portrayed in the media, as they are usually associated with criminal activity. So we wanted to make our film relatable by having that aspect in it. We didn't originally realise that we was conforming to this stereotype. However, when we noticed, it kind of identified how embedded this image of black males are within our minds, within society. Also, we portrayed middle class females as being strong and independent, instead of females being vulnerable as they're usually seen.
Well, thank you for coming. We look forward to the release.
Thank you.
That's all for SJC News.